Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure, and it's my favorite time of year. I went to the first Stormville, spring in the country as they call it, so it was good to see some old friends. I also hit some garage sales, and you're looking at the back of my truck and you could see the yield. I was very happy with what I found. I also kept the expenditures down because next weekend is the Rhinebeck Car Show, and the weekend after that's the Hudson auction. So this is kind of the time of year where all kinds of great stuff comes in, and let's talk about some of it. So my channel is predominantly about all-terrain vehicles, so let's talk about this stuff first. I found a complete set of blaster plastic, right, including the nose piece, the tank, both front fenders, the whole shoot match. Paid $50 for it. Couldn't go wrong for that money. I also got a spare tank cover in black. So $50, man. You guys know what the plastic costs. I don't have the side pieces, but the blaster I own does have it. And if you guys recall, it's the one, runs good, had a mouse in it, but it's got a kitty paint job on it, that black paint job. So now I could get back to a much more reasonable looking thing. And I think on the plastic somewhere I saw the words 6-speed. I'm not seeing it now, but hopefully it pops its way back up. Next up, I found this, it's known as a Torn Big Red motorcycle jack, 1500 pounds lift, and these marker lights. The marker lights were $10, $5 each, and the jack was $20. I've already used the jack, so works beautifully. I'm always trying to figure out a way of working a little more organized. A lot of times I'll find myself outside working, it'll begin to rain, and I gotta kind of put things away very quickly. So to that end, I bought this thing here. It's a rolling tote, right? Cover doesn't appear to leak, right? So I can like throw a bunch of stuff in here and get it rolled into the garage before it gets all wet. So I got that. You may have already seen these trays in the background. The two of them were $3, so the bottom thing was $3. Those two trays were $3. And then I picked these guys up. You know, a lot of time you could get a deal on stuff from like Trimu individual parts, but they are truly of no use if you can't find them. So I've started putting loose parts in containers like this, and then you could just look through the clear top, see them, and do what you need to do. Nice thing, these Zags, they're about the same quality as the Harbor Freight equivalent, but the Harbor Freights, they love to stick these stupid stickers all over the top of them that don't come off, so you can't see what's in them. The Harbor Freight ones and these, I wouldn't consider these the quality that you would like carry around or put tools in or anything like that, because as you move them about, you'll break them. These are more for storing lightweight components. If you get the Milwaukee type cases or the Husky case, they're a little harder plastic and they'll take a little bit more of a pounding. The Milwaukees more than the Huskies, obviously. Where this particular version, if it gets much sun, or once again, even if you overload them just from sitting and standing around, they seem to get self-damage. So, but for storing parts, they're great. I paid $20 for the three of them. Next up comes Chainsaw Day. or you guys invite it. I picked up the Husqvarna, and you guys could see, I don't think it's been used hardly at all. That was $20. I gave the string a couple of pulls. It didn't fire right up. I'm going to pull the plug, take a look, but it has plenty of compression and everything else. Next up is the Home Light. This is an electric. I've used electric chainsaws, and they're actually very handy. I mean, not if you're going to go all Paul Bunyan and harvest lumber for a living, but if you just need to cut up a couple of pieces, 6-8 inch logs, you know, just a couple of cuts for firewood, for cleaning up, whatever, they are absolutely great because you don't have to mess with them. You plug them in, you fill them with oil, make sure they're sharp, and cut away. For me, also, the chains seem to last longer on the electric ones. Seems like every time I take out a gas chainsaw, the chain is completely dull. Lastly, this is a Poulin. This is a 10-inch pole saw, obviously. You could also take it off and use it as a loose handsaw. What the Poulin's really handy for like, I've already used it a little bit for the drainage ditch here. You're able to cut stuff down without like getting in the water. You're just able to reach forward and cut things down. You can see those couple of things I've cut down. The way we've been getting rain, we seem to be in one of two states. Either it doesn't rain anymore, or it rains 6 inches, then it goes back to not raining anymore. So I've been trying to improve some of the drainage here to keep the water away from the house. Next up are a couple of rolling work tables. I paid $40 for this, so I actually really did pay for it. And you know, when you look at stuff like this, you say to yourself, do I want to buy it? Do I want to build it? How well does it fit in? Size, shape, idea, kind of thing. No matter what, the casters would have cost me at least $20, you know, and the effort would have been another $20. I have plenty of angle iron floating around, so I just went with it like this. A lot of times it's handy if you put like a big tray on top and keep it for the tools. Go with another tray, keep it with the parts, and the very bottom you go with all the heavyweight stuff. Like if you have to roll out a small compressor or something, you put that on the bottom for ballast, for stable, and then, you know, once again, parts and tools. This guy here was only $2. Not the prettiest in the world. Rolls pretty well. Not great right at the moment. It needs some love and oil. Obviously, workmate, and you could, you know, open it up, clamp things in, and work away on it. For a couple of bucks, I couldn't leave it behind. Now we get to the small dollar items. Ricky's trunk here came from a garage sale. I grabbed this mostly to carry all these brackets in. I gave him $20 for all these brackets and traps. And there's a couple of extension cords here. So this was $20. It's got the special entrance so that you can let mice in to contaminate your stuff. But I figured I'd grab it. I'll fix up that hole. Sometimes when I'm going away for an extended period, I have to put stuff in the back of the truck here to keep it dry and safe. So something like that locker would be handy. Well worth the $20 considering I got the shelf brackets. Good solid ones. Right, there's 5 of those. I think there's 10 of the white and then the 2 closet. So once again, $1 each on the brackets, more than paid for this $20 deal. Next up comes the miscellaneous. I mean, you know, typically this stuff is like $1 each. There's yet another funnel here. I'm always losing funnel, so I've already lost one of the 3. These are like 3 for $5. These guys, they're both Friskers, and they were $1 each. This is old Klein. You could see it's got a lot of miles on it. It was $1. You know, wire, meters, wrenches, abrasive paper. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll just like grab a huge handful of junk like this and walk up to who's ever selling it. And a lot of times it's under $1 each. Right, GB Instruments meter. This was actually very valuable to me, and I actually paid the $15 for it. Metric flange bolts. Anybody who works on all-terrain vehicles, you know how hard and how expensive these are to put your hands on. If you're stripping stuff down, obviously you get them, but it's nice to have them all sorted in one place. And like the M5, M6s, very handy to have. And there's 20 and 40, so very handy to have these, right? Just everything all in one place, and I could just grab them as I need them. And if I'm seeing like you know, M5 or M6s are low, I could just order them in bulk on the internet and refill the case. I love that. These, as an example, for some reason I had some plumbing to do and I needed 5/8, and I like had 1 5/8 in my hoard of wrenches downstairs, so I picked up 3 of them to add to that hoard of wrenches, just in case you got to grab both sides. Wire, just finding multi-strand stuff for wiring things up. These guys I picked them up just because they were amusing. For somebody who's my age, you might remember Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Well, picture this. They come with remote controls. There's 2 of them, and if you push the faceplate, just right, the top pops off. So very amusing for me. Maybe not so much for you. The pair was $5. So I hope you guys enjoyed my flea market adventures, much flea market and garage sale adventures, much as I did. Brought home actually stuff I need and use regularly. How's that for a change of pace? I need y'all to keep your feet down, your heads up, and I want y'all to get out there and enjoy each and every day. Bye now.